everyone, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I appreciate y'all watching. Hot day, you might hear the fan. Just a disclaimer. Part 2, we're on this Husqvarna, what used to be a YTA 24V48. We're going to turn it into a YTH. I might even have a little bit of fun with the sticker. But I'm really enjoying this project so far. I don't know if there's anybody on YouTube that's done a general plastic transmission to a hydrostatic transmission swap in one of these things. And if y'all saw at the end of the first video, we've got the transmission mounted, we've got it running. We had to do a lot of work to get that transmission to work. I thought it was going to be a plug and play deal, a couple of bolts, drop it down, put the new one in, make sure that the belt's right. I was going to swap the belt off of the Craftsman donor, which is not going to work, and cruise on with it, be done with it. Easy, you know, $1,000 profit, so to speak. That unfortunately is not going to be the case. I can tell you what we've done so far. We have had to take the entire back plate off, and just watch part 1. We had to do a bunch of stuff. Put the gas tank, I had to put the gas tank back on, swap the entire back plate to the mounting plate for the transmission. Which I was not expecting. And then we have to, this part's going to be a lot of buttoning up some stuff. We've got to change over some linkages and some stuff like that. But in part 1, we've got kind of all the hurdles that I originally saw hopefully taken care of. Because now it's back together. So we're getting there. Let me show you what I got to do in part 2 that I at least know of, and we'll go ahead and get started here shortly. Alright guys, so again, we've got the transmission in. Mower runs great. Runs excellent. Like I said, the back plate, I had to do a bunch of fabricating, but the transmission is in. The little hydro deal, like this is where it needs to be. So what I've got to do is I've learned I have to put a hydrostatic mount here. So originally I thought I was going to have to swap this entire plate off. What I found out is that this hole right here will accommodate the lever operated hydrostatic portion of the hydrostatic lever that's going to eventually mount right here. I've got the cup holder in this to do as well. So if we come over, and that's a big hurdle, that's one of the big hurdles. I've got to figure out the pulley setup. I want to cross-reference a YTH 24V48 because I want to make sure that the pulley setup is the same. So this one's got the 2 small pulleys over back there in the back. It's got the 2 main pulleys, which are the same on all tractors. And then you got your 2 small pulleys. I think this mower is actually a little bit longer than this Craftsman. I may be wrong, but I can't figure out, you know, how everything's mounting up right here. And it kind of looks like it's a little bit bigger. Like my eyes could be fooling me. I just know that the drive belt that was on this one is too short in order for it to work. So this pulley setup right here, this has got a single pulley, but it's attached to a frame down here. And the Husqvarna does not have this portion of the frame on it, which I'm kind of like, why? But it makes me tells me that the frame is different, which means I'm probably going to have to get another belt. Hopefully the pulley setup is the same on a YTH, because the transmissions are the same. They're just Peerless, or I don't think they put spicers in them. I'll have to check though. I'll try to check what was in this. But for the deck height adjustment, I don't have to do anything with. But here is this side is the lever for the hydrostatic transmission. Now, what I have to do, and hopefully I can do this, is I have to take this side, which you see is like a little big old lock washer. I think this, you can see it over the sun. And I've got to take that and hit it off and get this rod off, which will slide this way, and then I'll get it off, get it around the mower. So I've got to probably take all this off. I've got to take this off with the whole arm and everything. So this is going to be a little bit of an involved process in order to do. But we'll get there. I could take these little things off right now and make my life a little bit easier, right? Put these in, and that's at least something I fixed in this video. As long as they're the same size. Oh, come on, you know you want to. There we go. I'll do that to the other side too. There's the first thing fixed. So there's the kind of the synopsis of what I need to do. I'm done for this evening, so tomorrow I'm going to pick this up. We're probably going to start on that, getting that hydrostatic lever and all that good stuff off. So I'll catch you then. Alright guys, so I'm working on this again. I've kind of done a little bit of work off camera. I did kind of take this plate off right here, which is, it's just 4 bolts. I took the steering screw off, which is just a star bit, and I took the steering bolt off, which was a 3/4 on the bottom, and then I think it was a 15/16 on the top. I've taken the PTO off, that's a 5/8, and then I just took these tie rod ends off because I thought I was gonna, or drag link connections off, because I thought I was gonna take this whole unit out to change the belt out. But I think what I've done is I've found a belt that will accommodate the pulleys that I have on the mower, which will be awesome if we can pull this off. So we'll see. I'm going to route it so it's there, and then what it does is it actually comes and just kind of rides along that small pulley up to the front, so it's a long run, and then it comes around the back here and goes around this pulley, that pulley, and then around that pulley in like a zigzag pattern up to the back. Remember, so we've lost a few inches here because of the transmission swap on this. The pulley is further forward on this one than the other one. So I've got to find a belt to accommodate. So that's what I'm working on. I just kind of got to work and just trying to crank some stuff out here because I'm on a little bit of a time crunch. And so I'll route this belt, see what I can do with that, and then I will rejoin y'all whenever I get this belt routed. Hopefully it's long enough for the right length. You do have a little bit of grace with these things, especially since it's a hydro. I don't think it's going to really get too tight or wear the pulleys out too bad. So, alright guys, I think we've cleared what, I don't know if I'd call it a major hurdle, but we may have cleared a hurdle. I think I found a belt that's going to work for this thing. There's a little bit of, tension's a little bit right here, but it's relatively tight everywhere else. It's tight enough to where when I turn this pulley right here, it will turn that. So I think it could be a little bit tighter, just a little bit, but I would be willing to try this. And what I could possibly do is swap out this pulley right here. I'm not sure though. Or I'm not sure. We'll try it. It feels like it may be a little loose, especially right there, but in terms of being around the pulleys, it seems like it's okay. We'll see though. We don't really have anything to lose here. Wish I could find one just a tinge tighter, but that's the best one that I have with my current situation. And it's everything looks lined up for the most part, from what I can tell, especially in the back. So that's That's a big plus. I may just have to get a belt that's just a tiny bit shorter. I had one that was just a little bit shorter here, but it was too short. So what I'm going to do now, I'll go ahead and take this off. This is just a little screwdriver. And I'll just take these pedals and stuff off, and they'll just live somewhere else besides this mower. And then I'm going to analyze what else I need to do to this thing. I know we got to get that lever on. I know I got to take this linkage off right here that's kind of stuck in place. And so we still got a lot of work to do, but I think I got a belt that'll work at least. So that's progress. Alright guys, I'm out here. I'm going to try my best to show you what I'm going to be doing with this brake pedal assembly, because I am going to take it off of the other mower and put it on this one, or take it off of this mower and put it on the other, because of the way that it's mounted over here. So what I'm going to do first is going to go ahead and get everything kind of taken off like it needs to right here. I've got to take the steering plate off in order to get the brake pedal assembly off, because it's attached up here. So we start, I believe this is a 3/4. And we're just going to work our way through this. Yeah, 3/4, and we're going to get this off. And I believe there's like a 1-inch bolt on the other side. I think I was able to pull it as I was. Let's see. Yeah, so there is on the other side there's like a 1-inch bolt that keeps all this on, and I don't remember exactly how I got that off the other mower, so let me figure that out real quick. What I will do is go ahead and take this pulley off, that way it'll give me better access back there. And that is a 5/8. So that's out. That's a 5/8, and now what I've got to do is get all this junk out from around it on the back side here. I mean, this is just absolutely nasty. I might try and grab some pliers. I'll grab some pliers. I'm sure I've been in the way of this entire thing. Let's see if I can get it off, because I don't think I'll be able to get it off the other way. Or I might be able to, we'll see. While I'm here with y'all, let me take off these bolts right here, which are 1/2 inch. That's just a little, doesn't really do anything right here, but do the same thing to the other side. So what that does is it at least loosens everything up for us. And then what I might do next, I think I'll be able to get it off without having to do anything else to it. Because this is not attached to the frame, it's just attached to the plate. I'm going to take the steering wheel cover off up top. And take that bolt off, which looks to be 3/4 also? Yeah, 3/4 as well. I tell you what, this turned into a heck of a project. So what that does, I just took the steering wheel off. I'm not saving this lawnmower, so it doesn't really matter. I just took the shaft off. I should be able to push the shaft down. Yeah. Push the shaft down, and let me go to the other side for you. And so what that does is I push the shaft down. Look at all this junk that just gets piled up here. And I can actually take this park brake lever, just take it completely loose. And so what I've got to do is take off, what, 2 things or 3 things here? So I've got 2 things to take off here. One of them is this clip. I don't know if you can see that. There's 2 clips that I've got to take off right on this side, because there's no like pedal adjustment or anything for the forward and backwards. I could even take this shoe cover here if I wanted to. So let me grab a screwdriver. I've got to take, let me show you. So this is like if you had a pedal drive right there. We don't have a pedal drive on the mower that we're going to put this on, because this is the whole transmission deal. Everything's coming off of this. So I've got to take that clip off right there and that clip off on this side, and that should be able to lower the brake pedal mechanism. And then we just put this brake pedal mechanism back onto the other one, and it should work out for us just fine. So let me go ahead and take those clips off, and I'll get this off, and then we'll be in good shape to finish this thing off. Alright y'all, I wanted to give you a look at the difference between these 2 brake pedal mechanisms. So this one came off of the Craftsman that had the lever operated hydrostatic. This one's the one that came off of the Husqvarna. So they're a little bit different, as you can tell, right? Both of them got the park brake going on, but this one's got a bolt provision for something, and I'm going to have to look at it real quick because I'm not 100% sure what it is for. I just took it off, but that's the difference. So let me go ahead and start installing this pedal. Hopefully it'll work, otherwise I've just done a whole bunch of work for nothing. And we will see what we end up with. Alright guys, we're making progress. Let me show you. I got this on the speed control. All that is 3 bolts, and then a 4th one controls the little reverse switch that is involved with it. And I believe, is there a reverse switch that goes to this? Possibly. I'll have to double check. I think that's the reverse switch. I have to double check. It looks to be. I just need to reroute it from where it was over here underneath the mower back to the back, which shouldn't be too difficult. That's just moving that right there to another location. Taking it back. I think we just take it back like so, and just plug it in. Simple as that. So now that deal is, let me show you what I gotta do. I need to give y'all a tripod so you don't get so sick. So what I've got to do next, and I might go ahead and turn this mower back over because I'm on the final stretch of the parts I'm taking off of this. Oh, by the way, come with me. I'm sorry. brainwashed, whatever. So what I also have gotten and done is put this plate back on down here, and all I did was just push that up, and I also had to take the cruise control off, which was just a bolt and a couple of levers and a R-clip, and that got that off. And what that was doing is it was interfering with this right here, which I don't know exactly what it is, but it doesn't do anything on this type setup. And just slid everything back up, put the 4 bolts in, slid the parking brake, the new parking brake, in between the plate, and I got the tie rods just dangling down here right now. We'll attach those here in a little bit, but we're getting very close. Like I said, the only thing that I'm concerned about is if that belt's tight enough, which I think it is. Let me walk over here. Let me get you onto this mower here, and we're going to take off this little handle that I've got to change out for the hydro lever here. Okay. So what I got to do, oh, there's a little pigtail on this if I need it for that other one. Good. Right there, you see it. But what I've got to do is I've got to get this handle off somehow, some way. I think it comes in a whole assembly, and it attaches down on the bottom. So I just got to jack this thing up, get up under it, and take it off. Once I do that, I'll give you a better look as to what we're going to do. We're also going to transfer this cup holder over, which shouldn't be too difficult. Should have done that when I had the mower turned over. I'll transfer that over, transfer that over, transfer this over, which shouldn't be too bad. It'd be like a cell phone holder instead of a... Dang. Should be like a little cell phone holder instead of the typical cruise control there now. So we just got to get that off. A couple other things. We're getting very close. I just got to put the PTO clutch back on it and take that lever mechanism and just hook it up to the transmission back here, and we'll be in good shape. So let me do a little bit more work. I'll show you more of the finished product as I move along. Alright guys, here's what I have done thus far on this. So this is the blade engage, or the height lever for the blades. So there's a little lock washer type deal that holds this on. I took that lock washer off, popped it off, and was able to slide the hydro lever out. Now I've got an adjustment, I guess it's an adjustment screw, but it also serves as a mount for this lever, and that should be able to allow us to take that off. It does. We'll just feed that up through, and we'll just put that back on with that one bolt. Boom, when we get to that point. So that should allow us to take the rest of this off, hopefully. We just had to figure out how to get it around, get it off and get it around this gas tank here. Push it forward. This is going to be the trickiest part of it all here, y'all. Just trying to figure this out. Ugh. See if I can do this on camera real quick. Hang tight with me. Let me take this mount loose. think if I take that loose right there, we'll be in good shape. I don't have to take it very far. I just need to get it to where I have a straight shot out. There we go. So that's all it is. It slides into one side and then it attaches with that lock washer in the other right here. So this mounting post is already on the other mower. I just have to put it on there. So I'm going to loosen that up. And I'll just put this right here back for right now. Okay. Lay this back down. Apart from the cell phone holder, that should be the last part that I need off of this mower. So, let me get that reattached on this side, that arm, and kind of get situated. I've created an I'll show you the garage. Of course, I got all these push mowers too, and a weed eater that came in today. That weed eater's junk, I just need to throw it out. But, I mean, just the whole conundrum of just trying to get this mess back together. Anyways, that's how I got that off. Let me get it on to the other mower, and then we'll see where we are from there. Alright guys, let me see if I can show you what I am about to do here. So, what I have done is I have put this arm in here already. You can see that, the one that I just showed you that I took off of the other mower. And the next order of business, I'm going to loosen this bracket. I don't know if I can take it off or not, but what that does is it allows me to pull it out a little bit. Hopefully enough to where I can get this arm into, let's see, that hole right there. So the issue now is I've got it in the other hole on the other side of the bracket. And what I might do is take that bracket off of the other side too, and that way it'll give me hopefully enough play to where I can get this down in there, because I don't want to mushroom it off or anything, or mushroom it so that I can't get it through here. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and I'm going to rejoin you in just a second. Okay guys, I had to get the fan because it was getting a little toasty in here. We're making progress. I've still got to figure out some things here that I don't quite have right. And I may not have them right anyways. One of them is the brake linkage. It seems like it's trying to bind up against this, the shift linkage, whenever I have it down, so I have to kind of be cognizant of that. So I don't know if there's like something that I don't know if I need to like bend this out a little bit or what in order to get it to work right. Because it's trying to bind up on that bolt right there. I don't know if I might have put this. It's possible that I could have put this on the wrong side. Let me double check. I think I might actually did put it on the wrong side. Let me swap it to the other side right here. So there's two holes on this thing. One of them right here connects to in the front for this speed bracket. I guess you can call it. One of them connects in the middle. I did not use the middle, I used the front one, and it seems like it was alright. So I will be taking this out of the garage before attempting this. Belt loose right now because I have the park brake on, but let me show you up in the front here. I still got to put the drag links back on, and I got to put the PTO clutch back on. So those are the two things I got to do before I can actually start and drive this thing. Park brake is currently on. I have that linkage hooked up to the park brake. I think you can see that okay. And then under it is the linkage to the pulleys. That goes to the pulleys. So you push the park brake down and it releases, and that releases the pulleys under the mower. That thing's got some strength to it too. And so now the belt is tight. So now what I'm going to do is get the PTO back on, which is just a matter of lining up the hole and the keyway, which it can get a little frustrating if you don't do this very often. You got to line the keyway up, the bolt hole, and all that good stuff, and then you put that on, and then put the bolt on. So there are a couple of, and I gotta remember where they went, because I've worked on this over many days. There are a couple of brackets that I have to put back on here, and I don't know exactly where they go. But loosening up the other side allowed me to put the hydro pulley on it just fine. You can see it's trying to bind up on that bolt right there. But the brake is working like it should. I guess it's pulling. Let me put the brake on and we'll see. I'll let y'all in on this. Stand by. Make sure that it's working properly here. Y'all check while I do this. So that gets tight like it should, which is great. And it's supposed to pull it, I guess, and I don't know if it's pulling it forward or not. And judge the position of where it is. Stand by. Because this is more of like a, that goes right there. Might have to free that up, honestly. We'll have to look. Because I would think that that spring was supposed to pull the brake pad up, which I think it does. Now that I see that. One more time. It's pulling it up just a little bit. So I might loosen that nut up just a small portion. Because you want it to break on you if you hit the brake, right? So we'll get there. Huge learning experience though. By the end of this video I want to show y'all that it at least drives for us. So I'm going to wire brush a little bit of this rust off, lube it up, put the tires back on, figure out what I'm going to do with this linkage here, if I need to shorten it up, or I don't know what I need to do. We'll see. I think I gotta fix the brake pad on it, but we'll get around to that. I'll put the PTO on like I mentioned, the tires, and I'll spare y'all a lot of the little finer things of taking things off. And guys, we'll see if this thing runs. I hope it does. I really think it'll be okay. So we'll find out. We all will find out very shortly. Hang tight. Alright y'all, let me show you it around before we give this thing a trial run. Looks like I've got the park brake working. And everything else I can figure is working like it's supposed to. I haven't put the deck back on it yet, obviously. I want to make sure that it's working like it should. Put the wheels back on. All I did was lube those up. That's pretty standard on any mower. PTO's back on. If we look under here, the belt tension, I wish it was a little tighter, but we're going to see if it'll drive with that belt on it. I might have to go get a smaller belt just to ensure it's better. Alright, everything's mounted on the front like it should. Like I said, the only hindrance is I've got to figure out something with the lever here. With the park brake. I don't know if I've got it on the wrong way, or if I need to shorten it up, or what. But we're pretty close otherwise. So, let me check the oil in this thing. Oil is good. Haven't cranked this thing up in about 2.5 weeks. So, let's crank it up. And we're not going to drive it into the garage like I did, well, it's behind there, you can't really see it, but a Murray re-engine rider last year. Let's see. Alright guys, you saw it for yourself. We got a little bit of oil smoke coming off from somewhere. She's driving. That is fantastic. That makes me so happy. Worked beautifully. I do need to adjust, because I've got it in neutral right now, so I do need to adjust the transmission a little bit, which is just this big old where is the nut at? Right there behind the deck arm. I just have to lower the deck. Let me lower the deck. Whew, this thing's been weeks in the making, y'all. Let's see. So it's that bolt right there. I just need to back off a little bit, which I thought I needed to anyways. So let me grab the 5/8, back that off to where it was originally, get this adjusted correctly. I'll go ahead and install the deck back on it, and then we'll see if this thing's going to cut grass. And shoot, we'll cut the grass with it, probably not today, but tomorrow, and sail it off into the sunset. That's exciting. I don't really get excited about a lot of things, but this is one of them, and it worked out beautifully. Much better than a plastic transmission, right? Alright guys, I got the deck on it. I still got to work on the alignment a little bit, but my wife's going to reward me with ice cream for getting the hydro transmission in today, so I'm going to call it after I attempt to cut with this. So, well, I'm not going to cut with it. I'm going to attempt to use the blades and see what happens, and then I'll work on the deck a little bit tomorrow, cut some grass with it. Everything will be all hunky-dory, right? Dang, guys, we're very close. Let me crank it up. I got to put the hood and stuff back on it too, which I will if this works. So hang tight for a second. I'll pull it up and then I'll engage the blades and see what happens. So the reverse safety doesn't work, but I don't really care about that. Seat safety works, that's what we need. I guess the brake safety works. Blades work. Got to do a little bit of alignment and adjustment on it, but hey, that's small change. Let's go for a ride, why don't we? I got to do a little bit of cleaning up anyways. This thing runs awesome. Again, it's only got just shy of 65 hours on it. transmission works beautifully. Let me get out of here. Woo! This thing is hard to turn with one hand anyways. All right. Beautiful. Still got to change the air filter out on it because it's really dirty. Park brake works. That's awesome. That makes me happy because this has been weeks in the making. So the next step is I'm going to go ahead and put all the panels and the hood back on it, which is pretty easy. It's just you slide the panels on this side and you slide the hood on, or you just pop the hood on and you're good to go. I'm going to clean my garage up. We'll catch up with this tomorrow. I'll align the deck and I'll cut some grass with it. Grease up the front too. And real quickly, I don't have to show it to y'all as I'm doing it, but I do put like oil filter boxes for the oil filters that I put on these mowers down, and that helps level the deck on the front and on the sides. Your adjustment points on this mower are right there, and on each side right here. And so I'm going to work on that and get it level, and I'll wash all the crud off of this thing that accumulated from those plastic panels, and then we're going to have a very nice lawnmower to work with and to sell, I think. Well worth, even though this was a ton of time and a ton of effort, well worth it to get this mower back cruising again. Super happy with it, super happy. Let me get those things done. I'll give you all a final look, test, and all that good stuff, and we'll send this thing on down the line. Alright y'all, I figured I'd go ahead and round this video off. I successfully cut the grass. It did an amazing job, did beautiful, no problems whatsoever. And so I got my other one out. This is the one that I just fixed. This is the one I got last year. That's my personal one. That's got the actual plastic transmission in it. It's just in a little bit better shape, which is why I want to keep it over the one that I just fixed. They're made within 6 months of each other. I think this was made in December of 2016. This was made in June of 2016. So they're identical, or they were identical. Now they're not, because I put a transmission in the one on the left here. There's a couple of small things I need to do. I think I need to put a little ATF in this tire because it has leaked down a little bit over the course of about 3 weeks. So I'll put that in and we'll be in good shape. Cosmetically, like I said, I can get in here and clean these headlight lenses and it'd look a lot better. And I might still do that, I'm not sure. But like I said, this mower's already sold. I actually contacted the person today. It's an older woman. She has a John Deere that they bought new 22 years ago, and it's got over 2,000 hours on it, and it's I think almost to the point where it's ready to retire. At least I know the deck is ready to retire, and I think she's having issues with wiring or whatnot at this point. But here's a look through. Again, I washed all that dirt that was off of the side fender here, and it looks like new. It's smooth as silk. And put this handle on, put the cover on, so it looks like, save for this right here. And oh, by the way, the reverse switch started working whenever I had it out earlier. Put the phone holder here. I do have a couple of small tears in the seat, but that's probably because this mower has sat outside its entire life. So to be 5 years old and to pretty much have sit outside its entire life, you get what you get, you know. There's a little bit of rust bubbles on the deck, but it's not wearing through or anything. And this deck has got a 10-year warranty on it, at least so it says, so I think we're all right when it comes to that. She wanted a mulching plate, so I put a mulching plate on there for her, or I'm going to let her have the mulching plate with it. I'll take it off before I take it over there. But I mean, look how it turned out. Again, I could put ATF on the plastics. If I were to market this and retail it, I would do that. If I had, you know, a little bit more time. But as you can see, all of that, all of that, all of that, and most of that I've still got to do. Actually, there's a mower in there I completely forgot about that I had. But this one's done. Like I said, originally had the plastic transmission just like this one. We put a hydro on it. Anybody who was looking at a lawnmower would never know the difference. I did disclose to the person that's buying it that I did do a transmission swap. One weird little thing, when I first started it up cold this morning, or afternoon now, I had to double clutch the brake in order for the hydro to engage. I think that may be a little bit of a brake thing on the back here, but there, I think it's freeing up. And like I said, double clutch the brake, thing took off, starts, runs great, drives great, cuts awesome. These 48-inch decks cut very, very well. So gave it one little last washing. Y'all remember when I first got this thing, it was absolutely nasty, and I can't for the life of me get it any cleaner than what I've got it right here. Put a new oil filter in it. It got so dusty when I cut the grass with it yesterday. After she cuts with it for 10 minutes, it's going to look dusty again. So again, armrest on the side, it actually is kind of nice. So what I'm going to do, let me crank it up. I'll drive it around, give y'all a final look. I just wanted to kind of compare the two because like they're the exact same, but this one's got a much better transmission in it now. And the other transmission's lying over there in the junk pile, which I'm hoping to get rid of soon. So, line the deck up and all that good stuff, grease the front end. I love how quiet these things run too. 65.6 hours, so I put about almost an hour on it. It had 64.8 on it whenever I fixed it. So almost an hour on the transmission. Let's see if it'll do it. Yeah, no. I mean, you can hear it whine a little bit, but it's not doing it much. It's just weird because I want to do this with my foot. It's a little bit harder to, and then you can see it stops on a dime whenever you do that right there. There we go. Now that belt's not showing any signs of wear. Again, whew. So that belt was a 38-inch deck belt from an old style Craftsman lawnmower with a mechanical blade engage that I junked the deck on, I think. I'm not sure. But we're driving, running. And we're cruising along. Let me give you some blade action here. Still got the mulching blade on it. And the reverse switch should work. It did earlier at one point. I mean, I don't really care if it works or not because all all mowers should cut in reverse. So but I mean, this thing right here will cruise on. It'll even go faster than this. Brakes, I mean, it's great. Stops on a dime. Super excited. If I didn't already have, I'll just leave it right there. If I didn't already have this mower would not be going anywhere. I absolutely love it with the hydrostatic, but again, condition wise, it's not quite as in good a shape, and I don't really know the history of it as good. Like I said, I don't think it's been treated as well, but it runs and cuts awesome. I'm really excited. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. This is one, let me get in front of the camera and we'll finish this off, because this is it's been a great video. I have thoroughly enjoyed making this, and I hope y'all have enjoyed watching me. But this is one, it's always nice when a lawnmower comes in that needs more than just something that you've done 1,000 times, if you know what I mean. So I got this mower for, I took $150 off for a trade, because when I first got it, I mean, the deck was off of it. I had to find some deck hardware, some R-clips to put on it. And I knew that I was going to be doing a transmission swap, and I did not know exactly what I was going to be getting myself into. I was kind of hoping that it was going to be a plug and play. I didn't think that it was going to be as involved as it ended up being, with the whole swapping the entire back plate off and changing every single linkage. Luckily, I was able to find a belt to make that pulley setup work on this, because the pulley setup on my donor mower was different. Sorry, there's a bug there. So that pulley setup was a little bit different, and so I had to kind of figure out if I could make it work with the setup that was on it, and it did. Thankfully, I didn't have to buy a belt. I have $0 into this. The donor mower already paid for itself in the deck that I used on a YS 4500, and so it owed me nothing, and it had already been accounted for in the sale of that. So the belt I had here, oil filter and oil was the only cost on this, as opposed to a bunch of hours of labor, obviously. So I know I can't show every step that I do to make this work, but I hope y'all enjoyed seeing this. I don't know of anybody else on YouTube that has done this, so I hope that this is helpful to some of y'all who have a bad plastic transmission and want to figure out if you want to venture out to do a hydrostatic swap. The thing I will say is, if you do go that route, make sure that you have an entire donor mower and not just go by the transmission alone. Make sure you have an entire donor mower, so you can get a Husqvarna, you can get a YT 4500, a YS 4500 Craftsman, you can get a Poland Pro, and I think they may be about the only ones. The newer ones that kind of look like this is what you're going after. I don't know how the older ones are, but if you want the whole linkage setup and everything, make sure you get one of the newer ones. And it just so happened that I had one here that worked out beautifully, and so like I said, I'm super happy with how it turned out. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I was very happy to film it and was excited to get it done, because this mower, like I said, we're going to sell it. I'm going to give her a good deal on it. I would probably list it, if I were to list it, I'd do a little bit of ATF action and clean these headlights up, and probably list it for about $1,300. I'm going to let her have it for $1,000. See if she wants to trade her John Deere or just wants to keep that around as a spare. Again, 65 hours, low hours, they're going to be very happy with it. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you've tried an adventure like this before with a transmission swap from a general plastic transmission to a hydrostatic, and let me know your experience. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. See you then.